Hello, Assalamualaikum and good evening. I'm Putri Mahirah Mizanuddin signing in with the latest updates only on Bernama News, and here are the headlines for this hour. Ahead on Bernama News, Malaysia's GDP projected to be rise 5.5%. And property market expected to stabilise this year. On to our first story. Malaysian Institute of Economic Research, or MAER, revises upward its gross domestic product or GDP growth projection for Malaysia this year by 0.1 percentage point to 5.5%. Its Executive Director Emeritus Professor Dr. Zakaria Abdul Rashid said domestic and private consumption continues to be the impetus for economic growth.
Even though CSI still below 100, I also explained just now, but we still can rely on consumer spending to drive the economy, and the export is still promising. Export and import external sector is still promising, even though we are experiencing absolute reduction in export and import in February.
Speaking to reporters after a briefing on Malaysian economic outlook on Tuesday, Dr. Zakaria said the country's imports and exports declined in February, partly due to the base effect. However, he said the GDP growth is expected to grow moderately to the range of 4.8 to 5.3% in 2019. For 2019, exports and imports of goods and services are expected to grow by 2.2% and 2.4% respectively. On the ringgit, he said the local note has appreciated significantly and improved to between 3.65 and 3.70 by year-end if the momentum continues. Dr. Zakaria said the stable ringgit would definitely strengthen the purchasing power as the domestic price tends to move forward. On inflation rate, he said it is expected to moderate to 3.0% this year, but rebound to 3.2% in 2019. MACC has targeted potential sales of 25 million ringgit via its International Sourcing Programme or INSP at Defence Services Asia or DSA 2018. This is an increase of 5 million ringgit from the previous DSA, which recorded sales of 20 million ringgit. MACC's Director of Transport and Logistics Section, Export Promotion and Market Access Division, Yusrinawati Muhammad Yusof said, the defence industry is a growing industry which MACC has been getting queries in regards of Malaysian companies with capabilities in the defence sector. She said the defence industry has been identified as one of the components which forms an integral part in Malaysia's defence and security capabilities.
Kalau kita lihat dari segi kita punya defence punya capability, syarikat Malaysia ni kita capable untuk menawarkan perkhidmatan dari segi maintaining, repairing, overhaul, upgrading the military equipment, lepas tu and also kita develop program in term of ICT punya equipment untuk defence industry.
This year, the two-day business matching event, which began Tuesday, saw 34 international companies, including those from South Korea, United Kingdom, Myanmar, Thailand, Bangladesh, Turkey, Canada, Belarus and China, participated in the program for future collaboration with 27 local companies. Sectors involved includes defence and security, products and equipment, telecommunication, information and communication technology, transport, engineering services and apparel, textiles and accessories, footwear. Yusrinawati told Bernama News Channel this year's edition of INSP at DSA 2018 will also focus on quality buyers and partnership in order to realise the target.
Pada tahun ini, kita lebih memberi tumpuan pemilihan syarikat tu daripada negara, kita lebih tumpuan pada yang nak datang membeli ataupun nak membuat joint venture atau collaboration dengan syarikat Malaysia lah. So pada tahun ini, quality buyers tu lebih lagi dinilai untuk memastikan bahawa target kita dapat capai.
DSA 2018 is being held from 16th to 19th April at the Malaysia International Trade and Exhibition Centre in Kuala Lumpur. DRB Highcom Defence Technologies Sdn Bhd or DefTech is set to secure a contract to supply Saudi Arabia with its AV-8 armoured vehicle by end of the year. DefTech Group Chief Executive Officer Lieutenant Colonel Dato Amril Shamsuddin said the vehicle has already passed the assessment tests by the Saudi Armed Forces in November last year. Currently, they are already holding discussions with the Saudi government.
Because Saudi itself is very dynamic.
By the end of the year?
InsyaAllah kita cuba. But we are in talking terms to them through the defence attaché here. But both vehicles have got their own advantages. So it depends on their concept of operation. CONOPS, what do they want?
He said the Saudis are satisfied with the vehicle's performance as the AV-8 managed to overcome all obstacles placed in its path. Dato Amril also thanked the Minister of Defence, Dato Sri Hishamuddin Hussein, for the opportunity given, which he said will be a good exposure for DefTech to go abroad. Going forward, Dato Amril told Bernama News Channel, DefTech will be embarking on the unmanned aerial systems for the government for the next 3 years.
But it's not a question of catching up now, but it's a question of producing things that can fly in this weather. And it meets the specification. For example, you nak terbang 1000 kaki, you want the gambar to be as clear as possible, sampai nak mancing sampai. But in some countries, some equipments, yes, you can do it with certain condition of weather. But ours ni, you fly 1000 at cloud level, you tak nampak apa dah. Because it's all kelembapan, nampak.
On Monday, DefTech and Turkish Aerospace Industries Inc. or TAI, which is owned by the Turkish Armed Forces Foundation and under Secretariat for Defence Industries, exchanged an industrial collaboration agreement at DefTech Pavilion, witnessed by Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak on the sidelines of the 16th Defence Services Asia or DSA 2018. DSA 2018 is being held from 16th to 19th April at the Malaysian International Trade and Exhibition Centre in Kuala Lumpur. MBSBANG is currently processing up to 6 billion ringgit in loans for affordable housing, says its President and CEO Datuk Sri Ahmad Zaini Osman. The applications in the pipeline included loans for the One Malaysia People's Housing Programme or PRIMA, One Malaysia Civil Servants Housing Programme or PPA-1M, and Federal Territories Affordable Housing or RUMAWIP. Speaking to reporters after signing the Mortgage Guarantee Programme and participation in My First Home scheme with Chagamas SRP Berhad in Kuala Lumpur Tuesday, he expects the bank will disburse all the loans this year. Since initiating the loans programme for affordable housing 2 years ago, Malaysia's second largest full-fledged Islamic banking by asset size had disbursed about 4.5 billion ringgit in loans. It comprised some 2 billion ringgit for PPA-1M, 1.6 billion ringgit for PRIMA, and about 900 million ringgit for RUMAWIP. On the partnership with Chagamas SRP, Datuk Sri Ahmad Zaini said the bank will obtain guarantee coverage from Chagamas SRP for its home financing portfolio to facilitate its efficient capital management. It will also be able to provide up to 100% financing to young adults aged below 40 years and obtain guarantee from Chagamas SRP for the 10% down payment. With the partnership, Chagamas SRP will give an added feature for MBSBANG and financing for affordable housing. In another development, Datuk Sri Ahmad Zaini said the bank will invest 250 million ringgit to upgrade its core banking sector and incorporate additional features for retail and corporate customers to strengthen its digital capacity. Malaysia's property market is expected to stabilise this year after having to endure a challenging environment in the last 2 years, according to Valuation and Property Services Department. Its Director General Nordin Daharum said the forecast economic growth, the accommodative monetary policy and incentives for the sector would help sustain the momentum in the market. Speaking to reporters at the launch of the Property Market Report 2017 in Kuala Lumpur on Tuesday, he said market conditions between January-February have recovered compared to 2017. He pointed out that property transactions rose 4% in the first 2 months this year compared to the same period 2017. Overall, the property sector recorded 311,824 transactions worth 139.84 billion ringgit in 2017, down by 2.7% in volume and 3.8% in value respectively compared to 2016. In a statement, the department said residential properties continued to support the overall property sector with 62.4% market share, followed by agriculture properties at 22.5%. By price range, demand continued to focus on 200,000 ringgit and below, accounting for nearly 45% of the residential market volume. House prices continued to record steady increase, with the Malaysian House Price Index stood at 187.4 points, up by 6.4% against 2016. The commercial property market activity continued to decline at a modest pace.
Dah semak? Kejap. Makasih. Dah daftar sebagai pemilih kan? Pastikan maklumat betul. SPR menyediakan aplikasi MySPR Semak. Dengan MySPR Semak, anda boleh membuat semakan maklumat pemilih. Mudah bukan? Muat turun MySPR Semak sekarang.
Bagi mencapai status negeri maju, banyak inisiatif kerajaan yang disalurkan terus kepada rakyat. Dengan adanya program perumahan rakyat, dapat menempatkan semula setinggan. Rakyat dapat menikmati kemudahan dan perkhidmatan terbaik dengan adanya Pusat Transformasi Bandar Perak dan Pusat Transformasi Luar Bandar Gopeng. Jambatan Kereta Api Bukit Merah merupakan jambatan kereta api terpanjang berentasi tasik di Malaysia. Terminal Bas Aman Jaya berkonsepkan terminal bas moden kelas pertama. Projek pembangunan semula kampung nelayan mampu meningkatkan kualiti dan kesejahteraan kepada golongan nelayan. Perak, rakyat aman dan jaya.
Hello again, Bernama News is back with more updates. 2 crewmen were injured while one still missing after a drilling vessel MVGOs caught fire in Kuala Baram waters near Miri at 3:15 a.m. Tuesday. Miri District Maritime Director Captain Maritime Muhammad Fauzi Osman said the 2 injured victims were Second Engineer Muhammad Hafiz Ismail, aged 36, who was 20% burnt, and Khairul Ismail, 35 years old, who was injured at his forehead, mouth and face. 39 crew members, including 5 Indonesians and a Thai citizen, were in the ship when the incident happened.
Total kru yang berada di atas kapal MVGO seramai 39 orang dan 38 telah berjaya diselamatkan. Namun begitu terdapat 2 orang yang cedera dan 1 masih lagi hilang.
The 2 injured victims were given early treatment before they were sent to Miri Hospital for further treatment. Fauzi said the identity of another crewman who was still missing could not be revealed upon the request by Petronas. During the incident, the vessel, registered under Agio Marine Sdn Bhd, based in Kuala Lumpur, was 5 nautical miles or 10 kilometers away from Kuala Baram. Search and rescue efforts are ongoing, and APMM Miri had deployed 2 assets for the operations. Meanwhile, the Strategic Communications Group of Petronas Media Relations Department in a statement said its emergency response team has been deployed and working closely with the related authorities in ensuring the fire is under control. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission or MACC officers will not be intimidated by threats made against them. Its Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Zulkifli Ahmad said such threats would also not weaken the spirit of MACC officers in discharging the responsibility that had been entrusted upon them. In a statement released on Tuesday, Tan Sri Zulkifli said such a cowardly act would only motivate the MACC officers to continue with efforts to eliminate corruption and power abuse in the country. He was commenting on an incident where two senior MACC officers received parcels containing live bullets and threatening note. Zulkifli said the officers concerned had lodged police reports and MACC would extend its cooperation to facilitate investigation. He also expressed his appreciation to the police in having set up a special task force to investigate the matter. The government continues to support the development of Chonghua School by approving the application of Chonghua's private secondary school Sentul for federal land rental for the purpose of building a sports complex. Natural Resources and Environment Minister said the approval of the application was approved by Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak after the entire review process was completed by relevant agencies such as the Federal Territory Land and Mines Office. 2 parcels of land have been leased within 6 months, and this shows the Prime Minister's concern for any educational institution assisted as much as possible.
Saya berjumpa dengan Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri sebelum kertas dibawa ke Kabinet untuk persetujuan. Akhirnya Yang Amat Berhormat memang tak ada bercakap panjang. Dia terus lulus saja itu. Saya kata ini adalah untuk kemudahan sukan sekolah ni. Dan sekolah ni ada mempunyai pelajar sebanyak 5,000 dan academic performance adalah cemerlang dan begitu juga sport activities dia. Jadi dengan adanya sport facilities ni nanti saya cukup yakin sekolah ini boleh lagi mara ke hadapan.
He said this in the handing over ceremony of the Federal Land Lease Offer Letter to the Chonghua Foundation in Kuala Lumpur on Tuesday. The 1.2 hectare land that will be leased for 99 years can also be used by the Ministry of Education Malaysia and nearby schools to carry out sports activities. Among the facilities available in the sports complex are badminton courts, basketball courts and swimming pools. Also present was Minister of Transport Datuk Sri Liao Tiong Lai, Minister in the Prime Minister's Department Datuk Sri Dr. Wee Ka Siong and Chairman of Tan Sri Lim Keng Cheng School Board. The judge and all parties involved in the murder trial of Deputy Public Prosecutor Dato Anthony Kevin Maurice on Tuesday visited 3 locations around Jalan Utamas in Kuala Lumpur, including the place where he was abducted while on his way to work on September 4, 2015. The 2 other locations were Kevin Maurice's house at Menara Duta Condominium, Jalan Utamas Raya, and the place where a Mitsubishi Triton 4-wheel drive vehicle with 4 men inside crashed into a Proton Perdana car with Kevin Maurice at the wheel. High Court Judge Dato Azman Abdullah, together with the prosecution team, headed by Deputy Public Prosecutor Saiful Idris Zainuddin, the defence team and the accused in the case R. Dineshwaran, A.K. Tinesh Kumar, M. Vishwanath, S. Nimalan, S. Ravi Chandaran and Army Doctor Colonel Dr. Kunasigaran went to the locations at 9:30 a.m. and escorted by the police. They had gathered at the Jalan Duta Court complex and then went to the first location at the Menara Duta condominium about 1.4 kilometers away before going to the traffic light intersection about 500 meters from the condominium, where the crash involving the Mitsubishi Triton and Kevin Maurice's car took place. They then went to the location where Kevin Maurice and Nimalan stopped their vehicles before Kevin Maurice got out from his car and was abducted. Deputy Public Prosecutor Wan Shahrudin Wan Ladin told reporters that the visit was made to provide a better understanding of the case to both the prosecution and the defence teams. Dineshwaran, aged 26, Tinesh Kumar, 25 years old, Vishwanath, aged 28, Nimalan, 25 years old, Ravi Chandaran, aged 47, and Dr. Kunasigaran, 55 years old, had pleaded not guilty to the charge of murdering Kevin Maurice, 55, between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. on September 4, 2015, while the Deputy Public Prosecutor was on his way from Sentul to Subang Jaya. They were charged under Section 302 of the Penal Code and faced the mandatory death sentence upon conviction. Kevin Maurice's body was found in a concrete-filled drum in Persiaran Subang Mewah, Subang Jaya on September 16, 2015, after he was reported missing on September 4, 2015.
Penjagaan kesihatan untuk rakyat merupakan matlamat utama mana-mana negara.
Sebab itulah 27 bilion ringgit digunakan khas untuk menambah baik khidmat Kementerian Kesihatan.
40 juta ringgit diperuntukkan bagi tabung bantuan perubatan khas untuk mereka yang kurang berkemampuan.
1.4 bilion ringgit disalurkan khas untuk menambah baik fasiliti kesihatan, ambulans serta khidmat kardiotorasik dan kardiologi.
50 juta ringgit untuk bantuan hemodialisis dan hanya dengan bayaran RM110 untuk setiap sesi rawatan.
Voluntary Health Insurance Scheme diperuntukkan sebanyak 50 juta ringgit untuk memperkasakan sektor kesihatan. Kesihatan berkualiti,
Kesejahteraan rakyat.
Brings you the latest in current affairs, lifestyle and entertainment, as well as one-on-one discussions with fascinating personalities. Only on Bernama News Channel.
Setiap undi amat berharga.
Kami menjadi mata dan suara anda.
Dari segenap penjuru, 24 jam.
Laporan secara terus, terkini dan menyeluruh.
Jangan sia-siakan hak anda.
Anda penentunya.
Hi, welcome back on Bernama News. On to the foreign front. Syrian state-run media reported that the country's air defences confronted a new aggression, shooting down missiles over the central region of Homs early on Tuesday. The reports did not say who carried out the pre-dawn strikes. The government-run Syrian central media said the missiles targeted the Sherat air base in Homs. Earlier this month, 4 Iranian military personnel were killed in an airstrike on Syria's T4 airbase, also in Homs. Syria and its main allies, Iran and Russia, blamed Israel for that attack. Israel did not confirm or deny mounting the raid. The reports came just a few days after the United States, Britain and France conducted airstrikes targeting alleged chemical weapons facilities in Syria. The airstrikes were in retaliation for a suspected chemical weapons attack that they blamed on the Syrian government. Despite a severe short supply, people in Duma, the last rebel bastion in the eastern Ghouta near Damascus, recently captured by the Syrian army, chose to face up to the post-conflict life. The Syrian forces captured Duma town, where an alleged chemical attack occurred on April 7th, after rebels had evacuated to the city of Jarablus in northern Syria in several batches. Although the conflict has ended in Duma, the town is left in ruins and with little food. Many have to grab bread tossed from a moving aid truck or pick up crumbs on the ground to feed themselves. The Syrian government distributed food and basic supplies at a downtown plaza every day to relieve the shortage, but it is still far from solving the problem. A Duma resident, however, said at least they can get free food now and will not be extorted anymore. Life is hard for the local people, but many, like Abu Muhammad, have chosen to hold on and plan for the future. Muhammad and his neighbors are clearing garbage on roads and installing electric wires for lighting after the conflict ended.
صرنا 7 سنوات بالغوطة وتحملنا القصف والضرب وإنه بدنا نحافظ على أملاكنا.
On Saturday, Syrian government forces entered Duma for the first time since 2012, marking the biggest victory for President Bashar Assad's government's forces since the conflict began in 2011. Many Duma residents hoped that the government forces can enter the town, as they will bring at least some stability so that the residents can work as before. And that's all we have for now. To get the latest news updates, do follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter account, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Putri signing off. Thanks a lot for watching Bernama News channel. It's all about you.
Hebatnya negaraku demi perpaduan, demi kejayaan.